Is Vick right, Chris, that Wentz will fail in Philadelphia?
Look, I'm not saying Carson Wentz won't have some good individual seasons forever, however long he's in Philadelphia. But overall, I do agree with Vick, because anything but winning a Super Bowl is failure. That's the problem. Nick Foles has set this bar with the same team where it is Super Bowl or bust. What other quarterback in the league has those expectations?
Even though
Lamar Jackson doesn't have. He didn't get them there. Last year, I mean, they didn't get to the Super Bowl, but they were struggling, about to miss the playoffs until Foles comes along. He was 11-2. He looked great that year, but still, Foles is the one that did it in the playoffs and all that. He beat Tom Brady. So I think because the bar is so high, I mean, Lamar Jackson, as great as he's playing, he doesn't have to win the Super Bowl this year. Patrick Mahomes doesn't have to win the Super Bowl this year, maybe even next year. Tom Brady's won enough where he doesn't like.
Rodgers might be the only other one.
Okay, that's a good one.
Because he's 35 years old. He might be the only other one that you say, man, if they don't win it this year, when are they going to win it?
But and that's a good one. But even with Rodgers, his legacy is set. Like he's already an all-time great. Wentz has this giant, board on his back, and he's got to carry it. So that's tough. Secondly, again, I said it with Dez Bryant. This is Michael Vick, former Philadelphia Eagle. First, he's Michael Vick. He can call anybody in the league and get them on the phone. Now he's on television, so guys know he's talking. Just like I said about Dez Bryant, Michael Vick is probably talking to guys in that locker room. So when he says, he's got the issues in the locker room, some guys are questioning his character, he's not just going off the reports. I don't think.
He's hearing things.
Right. I haven't talked to Vick. He hasn't told me this, but you know who he is. He's probably getting this from players. I mean, we know they built a shrine to Nick Foles and all that. So look, you can handle criticism from the outside, from us on a show like this or other debate shows or even opponents. When it's in your own locker room, when you don't know that the guy you're next to in the locker room, the guy that's smiling, that you're joking with at lunch, may have been the one talking about you in the newspapers. That can be tough, and I think that's why Carson Wentz, his mechanics aren't what they used to be. Some of the throws he's missing, running backs in the flat, where he's just throwing it way over their head.
He seems like he's in his own head.
Right. That's a mental thing.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, and I was just saying, I think all of this is coming together to really take Carson Wentz apart.
Listen, I think that he is in a historically unique position because of what happened with Foles. Because all of a sudden it is, well, why can't you win a Super Bowl? A backup quarterback did with these same guys. Right. I get it. And I can't think of a good, it would have been, if after Kurt Warner won that Super Bowl, they went back to Trent Green in St. Louis, it would have been like, hey, you know what I mean? Now go do it. Anything short of it's a failure. Obviously, Kurt Warner was so sensational, that was never going to happen. And so I get that we don't have a good historical example to say how he can do this, but I'm still not out entirely on Wentz. I still think Carson Wentz can be successful in Philadelphia. I still think Carson Wentz can have a Donovan McNabb type of career in Philadelphia.
But would that be enough?
Well, that's what's so... If it truly is, you must win the Super Bowl or you're a failure, then the smart money would be on that he will fail. But if it is, you have to get back to the guy we saw you in year 2 and part of year 3, or you're a failure, I think he can do that. Now, there's so many other elements that go into winning a Super Bowl, and I do think that Carson Wentz has to look himself hard in the mirror and say, we could have beaten Seattle with all the injuries, with what was going on the right side of our offensive line, with our lack of weapons at wide receiver, if I just didn't turn the ball over. He was pressing. He wasn't what I said about Brady, that Brady's not going to kill you. Carson didn't recognize this was a game our defense is playing great, that Seattle seems a little lethargic from going cross country. I need to just take care of the football. He needs to get better. But when I look at that quarterback draft class, right, Dak clearly has distinguished himself, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but it's clear he's the best of those 3 guys, of Dak, Carson, and Goff. I do not think Goff can turn this thing around. I don't. I think Carson Wentz can. And so what is failure? If it is, do I think Carson Wentz will win? Am I saying right now he'll win a Super Bowl in Philadelphia? Probably not. It wouldn't shock me if he does.
It's not failure if they get to the conference championship.
If they are Philadelphia. The fans there are never going to accept him unless he wins the Super Bowl because they already did it.
But I guess the point is this, though. Foles brought them their first ever title. And so if that is, you can either look at it as you have to match up to that, or that's a city that has loved other quarterbacks that didn't win a championship. Like, I know they turned on Donovan at the end, but throughout his career, they didn't turn on him immediately after draft day, of course. And so, listen, I still think Carson Wentz can do it, even though he's given us very, very little evidence so far this year.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.